I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong support of this legislation, H.R. 4371, the Kayla Hamilton Act. This legislation at its core is about common sense, and that if we had done a simple fix like this, Kayla would still be alive. It's something that I think my Democrat counterparts have lost track of during the last administration. During the Judiciary Committee hearing, Kayla was referred to by one of my Democrat colleagues, repulsively called her in our committee a, quote, random dead person. Kayla was a beloved daughter. She loved life, she loved her family, she had a cat named Oreo that she cared for, she loved her God. She was a young woman whose future was stolen from her by someone who never should have been in this country to begin with. In 2022, during the Biden-Harris administration, Kayla's killer illegally crossed the southwest border as an unaccompanied alien child, what they are commonly referred to as a UAC. Walter Javier Martinez, a 16-year-old Salvadoran national, admitted to authorities that his aunt paid a guide $4,000 to smuggle him into the United States. As is required by law with most UACs, Walter was then transferred to the custody of the Office of Refugee Resettlement at the Department of Health and Human Services. Instead of conducting a basic criminal or gang affiliation check, HHS instead focused on programming and wellness activities while missing clear signs of gang involvement. Despite incomplete information and the sponsor's lack of legal status in the country themselves, HHS approved the placement. Martinez ran away within weeks from his sponsor, becoming one of more than 150,000 UACs in the last administration lost track of. According to his sponsor, months later, Walter left, and I quote, to do what he was doing in his home country, get trouble on the streets and hang out with gang members. The federal government just needed to make a phone call to El Salvador. That's all that would have solved this. Instead, Kayla was brutally murdered because the government failed to vet Walter, a known MS-13 gang member with gang tattoos and a criminal history. The Kayla Hamilton Act will help ensure another murder like Kayla's does not happen. First, this bill requires HHS to find out for UACs that are over 12 years of age if there is a criminal history for gang affiliation or gang activity in the child's home country. Opponents falsely claim that the bill mandates strip searches. It simply allows checks for gang tattoos during routine medical intake. This stuff already happens. We're just asking that somebody ascertain whether that tattoo is related to a gang. We also ask that they check their home country and see if they have a criminal background. We're not doing that. This is common sense. This gang-affiliated UACs would be housed in a secure facility under this bill, designed to protect them from themselves and others. Opponents say this provision will lead to the indefinite detention of children. In reality, UACs will only be held for the pendency of their immigration proceedings. That's it. When an alien is in a secure placement, their immigration proceedings generally are resolved expeditiously within weeks or months. Next, the bill bars illegal aliens from serving as sponsors. I think that's a key component to protect the children themselves. UACs should not be placed in a home of a person with no immigration permanence in this country where their caregiver may be deported at any moment. That is not a stable environment for a child to live or to thrive. The Democrats say that this bill will cause family separation. This reform ends the perverse incentive that encourages illegal alien parents to have their children smuggled across the border. That practice is happening right now, has been happening for years, particularly under the last administration. We should not be complicit in the smuggling of children into this country. No more. In the last administration, UACs were placed with sponsors before required background checks were even finalized. Mr. Speaker, that's kind of the point, right? That if you're a UAC, that we're not going to place a child in somebody's home where we don't know who they are and we don't know their background. But that's actually what's happening under the last administration. In some cases, criminal and sex offender checks were never initiated. 4371 will end this insanity by enshrining in law rigorous background check requirements. This will ensure UACs will not be placed with criminals or child abusers. And with that, I urge my colleagues to support this very important legislation to take a first step in reforming our very flawed UAC program. I reserve the balance of my time.